Welcome back, guys, to the Consciousness Express podcast. I'm your host, Sam Berry. Sorry for the delay in podcast episodes, guys. I've actually been pretty busy, and the last week's actually been pretty hectic. I spoke at a festival in Victoria, Australia, called Mantra Fest. I ran a workshop there creating phenomenal relationships, which you can actually find the full workshop on my YouTube account. So I'll drop the link in the show notes for that. It's a beautiful workshop, and then I also ran access bars sessions there the whole week. So it was a beautiful weekend away. And then when I got back, I found myself in a position where I had to resuscitate a man back to life. So I've had a full-on week, guys. So grateful that I'm here. Grateful that found the space to finally record this podcast, and yeah, grateful for you guys being here and listening. Today I'm also holding my microphone because I hope that the audio quality is a bit better or a bit louder. So yeah, let's get into it. Today's podcast, today's episode, The Consciousness Express, is going to be all about self-acceptance. So, feeling good within you, not needing validation from other people in order to feel good, and truly accepting you, being an allowance of you with no judgment. So let's get into it. First, I want to look at allowance versus acceptance, because they're two different qualities, two different energies, and I would like to bring some clarity to you guys, because what tends to happen is we look for self-acceptance, and in that process we look to accept all the parts of us that we don't like, that we judge as wrong. And so what is happening with that is acceptance is aligning and agreeing that something is real and true, accepting that it's a thing, and then you either work towards letting it go or clearing it or moving beyond it, or you find ways to cope with it and manage it. And a lot of people do choose to find ways to cope with and manage the things they believe are wrong with them, because they think that they're stuck with it forever. It's something they can't change. And so the best thing to do is accept it and find ways to manage it. And what I want to get you guys today to become aware of and to actually start integrating into your life is allowance of yourself. Because in allowance, there is no aligning and agreeing and resisting and reacting. It's everything is just interesting. It's you are not buying into anything that is occurring. And so with the self allowance, with the allowance of yourself, what's happening is, because when you believe there are things that are wrong with you, you are believing that you're believing lies to be real and true, because judgment is always a lie, an invention. It's not real and true. And so with self-acceptance, what happens is you are going, this is wrong with me, therefore I have to accept it, and then I can move on from it, or I can manage it. Where to begin with, it's a lie. Somewhere along the line, you bought the lie as real and true. Whether it was from your family or from your friends or whatever, they kept judging you as wrong about something until you finally bought it as real and true, and now you believe it to be real and true, and now you think there's something wrong with you, and now you're trying to accept that there is something wrong with you and be okay with it, and then move on from it. So you're aligning and agreeing that there is something wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with you. So we have to get that there is nothing wrong with us. So any wrongness we believe to have of us is actually a lie. And so we don't need to accept it, we just need to be in allowance of it. Because when we're in allowance of it, we don't have a point of view on it. It can just be there. There's no judgment about it. There's nothing about it. It's just interesting I have this point of view. Interesting I believe that this thing is wrong with me. It puts us in a position where we can start to receive what it actually is. It puts us into a position to be actually able to ask questions and go, okay, interesting that I believe I have this wrongness of me. Okay, interesting. Well, is this mine? Yes or no? Who does this belong to? A tool of access consciousness. Who does this belong to? Ask that question. Oh, it's not mine. My dad used to always make me wrong about this part of me, and I believed it to be real and true, and now that's what I believe to be wrong with me, and well, it's actually his point of view. It's his judgment. It's not mine at all. So return to sender with consciousness attached. Rather than accepting it as real and true, you're putting yourself in a position where you're in allowance of it. You don't have a judgment of it. It can be there. Because when we judge ourselves as wrong, we make that more real and true. We make it more heavy. We make it harder to move on from, harder to outcreate. And so when we do the acceptance of it, we're making it harder to outcreate because we're aligning and agreeing that it's real and true. So with allowance, it actually, we're not aligning and agreeing, and we're not resisting and reacting. It's just interesting. It's just, okay, interesting, I have this judgment. Okay, is it mine? Yes or no? Return to center with consciousness attached. So, because then you can then go, okay, well, what if this wrongness was actually a strongness of me? You can start to ask questions. You can start to go beyond it a lot quicker because you can receive. You are not aligning and agreeing or resisting and reacting. It's just allowance. So what we want to get to is to choose to be in allowance of ourselves. Everything that you think is wrong with you, be in allowance of it. Because how many of you are truly in allowance with what you believe is wrong with you? Versus how many of you are not in allowance of it and trying to fix it and judge yourself more for it or avoid being it because you think it's wrong. There is nothing wrong with you. I will repeat this for my whole lifetime. There is nothing wrong with you. So everything that you believe is wrong with you, it's either a lie that you've picked up from somebody else and bought as real, or it's a strongness of you that you are not willing to be. Because so many things that we believe are wrong with us, that we've been made wrong from being a child or whatever it is. For example, you're too much, and so you believe that you being you is too much, and that's wrong because your family got upset about it and made you wrong for it. And anytime you were being you and being that too much, you got in trouble and then got punished for it. So then you choose not to be that anymore because you don't want to get in trouble and you want to fit in with your family and be right with your family. And as a kid, you don't want to be getting in trouble. You want to be a good kid. So then as an adult, you have this whole part of you that you're not willing to be because you still believe it's a wrongness. And so that too muchness you feel is wrong. And so you never allow yourself to be that too muchness in this example. So you're always hiding yourself. You're always diminishing yourself. You're always being smaller than what you could be because you believe that too muchness is a wrongness of you, where it's actually a strongness of you. And so if you're truly willing to actually step into and be that energy that you've been avoiding being, well, what could you create? Who could you be? And what life could you then lead? So, yeah, what we want to look at is being in allowance, self-allowance, allowance of all of us, the good, the bad, the ugly, because then we don't have a point of view about it. And again, we're not aligning, agreeing, resisting, reacting. We're putting ourselves in a position to go, okay, does this work for me? Yes or no? No, it's not actually contributing greater to me. So cool. What can I choose to outcreate it? So yeah, this whole self-acceptance journey. Start to look at what allowance you can have of you that you haven't been willing to have before. All the parts of you think are wrong, are bad, are ugly. What allowance can you have of all of that, and how much can that allowance dissolve it all? If you didn't judge it as wrong anymore, or what could be possible for you? So, just wanted to touch on that a little bit and explain that to gift you guys something different, which is the allowance, because it will help you be you, and it will help you move beyond everything you think is wrong with you. And because what we really want to do is we want to get out of the mindset of there's something wrong with me, there's something that I need to fix, and that's my mission for the day. Because how many people wake up and already it's into this is what's wrong and this is what I need to fix? What if you woke up and this is what I love about myself, this is what's great about me, I wonder what else is great about me, and I wonder what else is possible in the creation of my life. I wonder if I actually looked for possibilities rather than problems. Because how many of you are looking for problems rather than possibilities? Because somewhere along the line you've decided that you're a problem solver. So, because you want to be, in order to really have that self-love, is to love every part of you, which is to be an allowance of every part of you. Because then when you are being those things that you don't want to be, you are an allowance of it, you can love it, and then you can now create it by choosing something different if you so wish to. And I also want to look at today, this podcast really, this episode's like, to get you, accepting yourself, but in allowance of you, so that you can. I wonder if you can hear the dogs barking and everyone yelling upstairs. If you can be, so that you can feel good within, so that you can look at you in the mirror and not judge you and go, yeah, I actually love myself. And so that you can, because this is going to lead to the next point, whereas then you don't need to seek validation from other people. Because how much are you seeking validation from other people to feel good within you? So unless someone else gives you a compliment, tells you how good you are, tells you how pretty you are, tells you how nice your bum looks, you don't feel that within. And what happens then is we are constantly seeking validation from other people to feel good. Our worthiness comes from validation from other people. We've given the power away to other people their validation, and so we're constantly seeking it. We can't feel good without it, and so when you need validation from other people in order to feel good within, you will never truly feel good within, because you have given the source. You've made other people the source for it. You are the source for it all. So a way that we can play with and out-create this validation is self-acknowledgement. So acknowledging you, acknowledging your brilliance, acknowledging how beautiful you are. Whatever it is that you're seeking validation from other people, acknowledge it within you. What is the energy you're seeking validation for? What is the underlying energy? And acknowledge that within you. Because when you can acknowledge that within you, then you won't need it from other people. You won't seek it in validation from other people. So if it's not feeling pretty, start to acknowledge how pretty you are. And it's probably going to be uncomfortable when you don't do this work. And you haven't done this work before. Because you're like, I'm not pretty, I'm ugly. Rah, rah, rah. It's only when my boyfriend tells me I'm pretty do I feel pretty. It's only when my friends tell me I'm pretty do I feel pretty. It's only when strangers tell me I'm pretty do I look pretty. When you can feel within, in this example, your beauty, your radiance, you go beyond the need of validation from other people, that you then the relationships you seek will change, because you're not seeking relationships to validate that part of you anymore. You will start to move into pulling in relationships where it's about using your beauty to open them up to God. It's a whole different paradigm that begins when you start to acknowledge your beauty within, as an example of the beauty. So whatever it is that you are seeking validation from other people, start to acknowledge it within you. Because you are worthy. We have to get that. So many of us feel that we're not worthy of love. We're not worthy of anything. We aren't pretty. We aren't smart. Whatever it is. So start with the self-acknowledgement. And the not invalidating yourself with judgment. Because every time you judge you as wrong, anytime you judge you full stop, you invalidate your being. And so we're going to look to change that. Create something different. Which again can start with the self-acknowledgement. So practice the self-acknowledgement until the point you know your worth. And it's there. You're not seeking validation from anybody else. You are the source for everything. How you feel is not influenced by other people. So that you can start to feel good within you. So you can walk around enjoying you, enjoying your body. Because what a beautiful life that would be. What a different life that would be if you actually walked through the world enjoying who you were. How your body is. While creating your body. While creating you. Because then what can you invite others to? What can you invite the world to when you're being that energy, when you're being that space? You're being a different possibility for the world. So, some tools to take home from today's episode, guys, is to start doing daily self-acknowledgement and daily self-gratitude. Every day. Put it up on your mirror in your bathroom. You can just write the words self-acknowledgement, gratitude. And while you're having a shower, list things that you're grateful for about you and your body. List things and tell yourself things that you acknowledge about you. Maybe it's you acknowledge something you love about your body. Maybe it's that you acknowledge something you've done this week that you're proud of. Maybe you acknowledge something you've created in your life. Whatever it is. Start this daily practice, guys, because it's easy to skip over this and be like, no, I won't do it. But then your reality is not going to change. You're not going to be... These are nurturing elements to the creation of your life. And if you don't choose these, well, that's your choice. But if you're watching this, I dare say you are seeking something different and some help to create something greater for you, to actually get out of self-judgment and into loving yourself. I can bring you to the water that you have to drink. So daily self-acknowledgement, daily self-gratitude, guys. Every morning or every night, whenever it is, put it up in your car. Put it up in the mirror in the bathroom. Whatever you have to do to be reminded. highly recommend putting it up somewhere to see where you are. The bathroom mirror is easy because generally you're in the bathroom every day. Um, another take home is you can write down everything you believe is wrong with you. And this might get uncomfortable, but growth is uncomfortable, guys. We have to get uncomfortable. Stop avoiding being uncomfortable. Write down everything you believe is wrong with you. Ask for each thing. Is this mine? Who does this belong to? You don't need to know who it belongs to, but you might get the awareness that, oh, it's my mom's. Or, this is a kid bullied me about this in school. Whatever it is. Return to sender with consciousness attached. This is a tool of access consciousness. Who does this belong to? There is nothing wrong with you. So then ask for those wrongnesses. Okay, is this a strongness of me? And practice the gratitude with that list and acknowledge that judgment is a lie. It's not real and true. So just that acknowledgement, if you really actually grasp that acknowledgement of judgment isn't real and true, then what you believe is wrong with you actually will start to dissolve. So write down a list of everything that's wrong with you and ask, is it yours? Return to sender everything that's not, and then ask what is a strong, if it's a strongness about you, and really get that there's nothing wrong with you. So if you'd like to dive deeper into changing all that, I do invite you to work with me one-on-one. And with your body, start talking to your body. You know, if you have a judgment of yourself, let's do an example of you think that you're fat, and then that's wrong to be fat. And maybe physically you are a bit overweight. Like physically, you're a bit overweight. And you have the judgment that you're really fat and that's wrong. Because maybe you have been made wrong in the past for it, from your friends at school, or from people at school, or from your family, or from social media. So you've bought that, okay, I'm fat, therefore I'm wrong. Therefore I should be shameful of myself and I should feel like crap all the time. What we want to do is we want to practice the self-allowance of, okay, I'm fat right now, okay, my body's overweight, I'm in allowance of that. No point of view, it's not right, it's not wrong. My body is just overweight right now. We have to practice the allowance. Like, okay, interesting that I think it's wrong to be fat. Interesting that I think it's wrong to be fat. Interesting that I think it's wrong to be fat. Because whose point of view actually is that? Oh, it's society's point of view. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, I'm in allowance of that. So then start to talk to your body. If it's something you would like to change, because you might go and get to the space where you don't feel wrong about it anymore and you're happy being fat. You're happy being that weight, whatever it is. You're happy being that, and that's fine for you, that works. But if you're actually like, no, I would actually like to change and lose some weight, in this example, then start to be in question with your body. Hey body, even just hey body, how many of you actually talk to your body? What's it going to take for us to change this? What's going to be a fun way for you to lose weight? How would you like to lose weight? What can we be together to lose weight with total ease? What do I need to do today to start to lose weight? Start being questioned, start being in communion with your body to work with your body in the process of the change, because you're creating your body every day. But so many of us work against our bodies because we believe our body's wrong. And you know, if you have this wrongness that it's wrong to be fat, then you're constantly in judgment of your body. Like, I'm wrong, I'm fat, I'm wrong, I'm fat, I'm wrong, I'm fat. And every day you're working against your body. You're being cruel to your body. But if you're actually in allowance of it, and we're going, I love my body. Yeah, I'm overweight right now, but I love my body. And so because of that, I want to work with my body and be in communion with my body to outcreate this, to lose some weight. So, hey body, I'm here. What do you require? What can we choose? And be in daily communion with your body, daily question, and go on that adventure with your body. Start to love your body, because your body's listening to you, your body loves you, and your body has wisdom for you. It's its own consciousness. So how much more ease could you have with, in this example, losing weight, than if you were choosing against your body, or with the wrongness of the body? But you can expand that into any body thing or whatever judgment you have of you. So yeah, thanks for coming along on that ride, guys. I have just released a free ebook, 10 mindsets for 2025. So if you're looking to optimize your 2025 and start to really create some change in your life and your relationships, I highly recommend downloading it. It's free. I'll drop the link in the show notes. And then there are 10 mindsets that I've used over the last 9 years to help me change my life. So highly recommend, guys. It's free. And yeah, if you love this conversation, I have the Wilds of Consciousness monthly membership group that you're welcome to be a part of. It's on Patreon. And yeah, as always, please like, subscribe, give a comment, share with someone that you think this may help. And I will see you guys in the next episode.